This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
This is probably just that one smart town just outside of London, which perhaps is the only one in Britain which does not have a high street, I'm told. But then the people here don't complain because we are coming to you from Milton Keynes. This is one hell of a town. Absolutely spick and clean. I was reminded of Singapore. I was reminded of Chandigarh in India because this is so well planned, and my big takeaway is going to be just absolutely less traffic on the streets because I'm coming from London, and so this for me is bliss. But I'm going to ask you this: why is Milton Keynes considered one of the most progressive towns in the United Kingdom?
Okay, well, I think it's because of how we were conceived in the first place. We started from nothing 50 years ago, and people who came here actually wanted to come here, so they were very enterprising. And it's all come from there, really. We've grown over the 50 years into a city of over 260,000 people. And we are unique in the way we're formed around horizontal and vertical grid roads, which is why the traffic gets around so well that you mentioned.
Mr. Vishwa, how long have you been living here in Milton Keynes?
I am here for 20 years.
20 years.
This November I'll be 20 years.
20 years old. Okay, a Milton Keynes, how do you address them? Londoner?
Milton Keynes.
Milton Keynes, who's about 2 decades old. I want to ask you, what is this emotional connect you have with Milton Keynes? Why does everybody say once you've lived here in MK, you don't want to live anywhere else, not even in London?
Milton Keynes is a new town, caters for every aspect of life, from urban area to a township, and also it's very closer to London as a commuter place. So a lot of people are moving out of London and manage to buy properties at a economic price compared to London, and they're able to travel to London and commute to London and work and have satisfactorily enjoy countryside during the vacation as well as weekends as well as leisure time. That's an important part of it. And this city is planned very well in the early days, well thought about all the activities needed for a human settlement as a whole, and so every aspect of it is catered for. That's the main aspect of it.
Which is why the youth love it, which is why the elders love it, which is why everybody seems to find some sense of connect. Tell us about you. What do you do?
So I am a member of the Milton Keynes Youth Cabinet, which
Youth Cabinet?
Yeah, that's a group of 36 young people who are elected in schools by every young person in a school in Milton Keynes to represent them and have their voice heard in the community. And I am also a deputy member of Youth Parliament, so I represent Milton Keynes along with 3 other people nationally in the UK Youth Parliament.
What sort of decisions do you take in this cabinet, and what are you minister of, if I may ask you what your portfolio is?
We don't have ministers. I've been chair of the youth cabinet before, and we have obviously rotating chair every 3 months. Actually what we do is we try and push the council to make the decisions that we want them to make, and we go and see the council cabinet every meeting, I think, and we talk to them about anything that's upset us or upset our constituents, and we try and have the youth voice heard by the council and by other decision makers.
I imagine you would have a membership there as well, because you seem as young and as can be to be a part of that. Yes.
There's one more thing I'd like to add to that. I mentioned the next 50 years and the importance of a plan. Young people have been hugely involved in the work we've been doing about the next 50 years. We've had 22,000 connections on social media talking about what does the youth of the city want to see in the next 50 years for Milton Keynes. I think that's hugely exciting, actually. So we do listen. We are unique in Milton Keynes, I think, in listening to our young people. Yeah.
Lovely. So this is a young town, as young as 50, and hoping to get better. And the youth here are extremely active, not just politically, but also also when it comes to civic issues, and I am thoroughly impressed. If you're looking for a new address in the United Kingdom, consider Milton Keynes indeed. Hello and welcome to Out of England. We are coming to you from a little town just outside of London. It's not little anymore because it's fast developing. This is Milton Keynes, and the topic we want to discuss today is Brexit, which is looking increasingly inevitable now, given the Prime Minister Theresa May has said that it will happen because that is the will of the people, but it may take time. There is some backpedaling we've seen. It will take time. It could be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. We don't know. Nobody's done it before, so we don't know how the method will be. But my question is, Brexit, is that advantage India or not? Jay?
Well, frankly speaking, it's a mixed bag. It's too early to call. We just have started, or we haven't even formally started the process. As we understand that Article 50 is not activated. It will perhaps be activated sometime in New Year. Now, for Indians, someone like me, for example, I came here in late 90s. I started my software services business here in 2005.
Okay.
I sell in UK. I sell some services outside UK in mainland Europe. We have a couple of offshore centers in India, in Mumbai and Pune. So the immediate impact when the pound was devalued was on imports. So the services that we import from India, more expensive. The services we export to Europe, we are getting more out of it because of pound devaluing again. But then I think it's too early to call, because at the end of the day, we sell to customers in the UK. Some of them are going to benefit if they export more. Those who are importing more are not going to get that benefit just yet until we see this whole currency devaluation impact settling down.
How is it going to impact you? How do you view it? Is it advantage India?
Okay, there is no direct impact really, because now we are talking about students. If we talk about businesses, Jay is absolutely right, because we also have some kind of business and activities in India, but we have Indian clients as well. So as Jay said, it's a mixed bag. So that's one side of the story. What I wanted to talk about is really the macro picture. So the first bit is to be prepared for eventuality, as Jay said, not just in business but in life in general, and that applies to students as well. Students who had planned to take admission in some university here in Europe or elsewhere. So the new reality.
What is your thought?
I think it's a shock, right? Whenever there is a shock.
More than a month later still?
Yeah, I mean, it's a shock. Whenever there is a shock on the system, there is going to be an impact.
Yeah.
And it takes time to, it's like a spring which keeps on vibrating and then stabilizes at a particular point. It will stabilize. Impact is going to be there. Like, because we are in training, I can see that the funds coming from Europe are going to be impacted in research and other things, which will have cascading effect on various factors. So, a positive side for Indian community could be possibly, particularly students who are willing to come and study in UK, is that because of the fact that in case between Europe and England it is agreed that the fees for the European students is going to be at par at the international students, then it is going to lower the number of students coming from Europe, which would mean that the universities here will have some more vacant seats, and possibilities where Indian students who were not getting admissions here can have more open seats to get into the into education here.
Sure.
So that is what I think as a possible positive impact, but it is too early to say anything really, because as Jay and Manjiri are saying, that we don't know what is going to get agreed. It has just happened, and even I think people who are working on what is to be agreed, they are still contemplating on various options. At the end of the day, everyone wants win-win situation.
For those, especially Indians, for those who want to send money back home, there's this level of, oh no, I should have sent it before 23rd. Oh no, I've lost so much money. I think that's one big problem. Thankfully, the Bank of England has intervened and has brought down interest rates. It hopefully will not go to negative, but then we don't know, because that's a matter of policy to be taken. But hopefully there'll be interventions when the economy is getting worse and threatening a recession. But at this stage it looks like it's a mixed bag. We don't know what the relationship will be with India. At the moment, I would want to believe it's advantage India. Hopefully that. Thank you. Write your feedback. What do you think? Is it advantage India that Brexit has happened, or do you think that Britain has made a mess of the relationships that it had with India and some other countries, particularly with the European Union? It's for you to share with us. And for that, you need to write to ooe@ndtv.com. I repeat, ooe@ndtv.com. Thank you.